All right, everybody, this is Gary Shanklin with Sawgrass Golf Academy. Today, along with Dr. Jackson Taylor in our fitness department, he is going to talk to you a little bit more in depth about, if you go to the doctor and you hear about a shoulder impingement in the joint and, what that might be, maybe some corrective issues. Obviously, go and see him if there is an issue, but I'm going to piggyback that and say, why is that shoulder mobility or stability so important? What role does it really play in your golf swing? So, there's a lot of talk these days about shallowing the golf club to keep it on plane. That's essentially what that is, as we get older, that club is forced out, or if we just haven't trained well, that club is forced out, and we call that over the top. Think of it this way. If you have trouble keeping that club on plane, it could be a physical limitation. So, and I'm going to go trail shoulder and then, lead shoulder. So the lead shoulder is always the one that goes to the target. Trail shoulder is always the one that's away from the target. Seems obvious, right? There's a physical assessment that we do. It's called a 90-90. So what you do is you take your right or trail arm, whichever arm you're doing, and you go to 90 degrees from your torso, and then 90 degrees from your upper arm and your lower arm. And then what you're going to want to do is see if you can externally rotate that to match your spine angle. So if you get to here, you're doing okay. You technically want it to go back, but that's beyond spine angle, so we're doing okay. The next thing you want to do is if you get into golf posture, because it usually limits the range of motion that you start to see in that shoulder. So typical 7-iron, 5-iron posture. And then I put my arm parallel or in line with my spine, and I start to go back. You can see it reduces the amount or the flexibility or mobility of that joint. Everything tightens up a little bit because you see, if you were trying to shallow this, and watch this, the shoulder, if you have this flying elbow up here, and you're trying to shallow that arm. So if you're here, you're trying to shallow that arm, trying to do this, externally rotate, and you can't do it. Say your arm can only go to here. And I've got a few students that's the issue, and they can't shallow it or hit from the inside. So they just become a nice pull swinger and a very strong pull swinger, and that's okay, using your upper body a little bit more. So trail arm shoulder mobility really affects the ability of the golfer to get that club shallow and on plane. Just think, if your shoulder can only bend to there, there's a strong likelihood that when you get to the top of the swing, you're going to do this. That arm's going to be up there, okay? So it's a nice little test that you can do for yourself to see if you can even try that move. But there are exercises to improve that mobility, and that's when you go to Dr. Jackson. Okay, so now we're going to talk about lead side mobility. And what issue might that cause, and why is it important? Okay, so if you get into posture again, see, mine seriously starts to get limited when I go into golf posture. So that is where we really need to do our assessment. So what might that cause? So as the club comes through impact and the arms are rotating through nicely, well, the left arm, or the lead arm if you're right-handed, right arm if you're left-handed, externally rotates. So it comes through and does this. It's coming through. And if you can't do that, say again, if your mobility is limited and you can only do this, that's going to tend to kind of flying elbow. You're going to protect it. Your body knows what it can and can't do, and it's going to go, oh, this is easier. And then you're going to be fighting that flying elbow forever and saying, well, I've been learning, or I saw this video about this person doing this, and I've been trying to do it, but I just can't do it. Well, it's not that your skill is limiting you. It's that your body is limiting you to the things that you can and cannot do. And that's when you go get with a medical professional and you get prescribed exercises, mobility routines, strength exercises to really make those joints more able to perform the moves that you want them to. And they can. You can always improve this stuff. Every now and then, that's going to be where you are because of a severe limitation or an injury to that spot. But you can always improve a little bit. And if we know, and this is the fact, this is why we assess and we try not to guess, okay? If you know that there is a limitation and this is what we're going to work with, then you can start to go in a different direction, go down a path that you can actually achieve some consistency with. And it just may be you're going to swing with an over-the-top swing, but with the intention of swinging with an over-the-top swing. And that way your club face and path are going to be able to work for you, and you're going to aim properly to make these, to execute these movements better and more confidently, okay? So to wrap up, today is about shoulder mobility and the important role it plays in you being able to perform the skills that you need to or want to at a higher level. You're also going to be watching a video from Dr. Jackson on shoulder impingement. If you haven't already, there's a link in this email. So please watch that so you can understand it a little bit better. So everybody take care. The winter is coming, the season is upon us, and it is time for real improvement. So go out there and do something more than you've been doing, okay, so that you can improve. And if you need myself, Gary Shanklin, or Aaron Russell, don't hesitate to give us a call, okay? Take care. We'll see you soon. Bye.